What's up YouTube, this is URCshadow and welcome to my content review for patch 1.21 of GTA Online. So this patch came out on the 18th of December 2014 and with it came a whole load of exciting new updates as well as some festive updates ready for Christmas. So in this video we're going to run through the main bits and pieces that are included in the patch, but the highlights are now you can own a third property, so now you can store up to 30 cars and 9 push bikes. They've introduced some new cars, some new weapons and some new settings for the first person mode. So the first time you load up the game, pretty much immediately as soon as you get into GTA Online, you're going to get this little notification in the bottom left hand corner which is going to say new weapons are available and new vehicles are available for purchase. So starting off, we'll start with the house. So we've got some space to store the new cars. You're going to want to bring up your phone, go to the internet and make your way to the Dynasty 8 webpage. From there you'll be able to see all the new properties, but if you've already got a nice apartment then you don't need to go spending out a massive amount of money for another apartment. I'd recommend sorting the list by the lowest price first and then start searching down the list till you find a property that holds 10 cars that's the cheapest you can find. So for me it was $105,000, 1623 South Shambles Street, but if you've already got that one then it will be whichever is the next cheapest garage that holds 10 cars. So when you found the garage you want to buy, click on the buy button and then click on the purchase property button. Now you've got to choose what to do with it. You can either replace one of your 2 existing properties, I wouldn't recommend doing that unless you really want to, or you can save it over the empty slot. So with that done, we're now going to have a look at the new cars. So again, bring up your phone, go to the travel and transport section and then scroll down to the bottom to the Southern San Andreas superautos.com. They're the only ones in this patch that have got new content. So there are 4 new vehicles available to buy. There's the Dinka Jester race car for $350,000. There's the Jubash Massaro race car, $385,000. There's the Vapid Slam van for $49,500. And the Bravado rat truck for $37,500. So looking at the 2 race cars first, the Mascaro is actually the more expensive of the 2, but if you check the top speed and the weight, it's actually much less performant. So the one I went for is the Dinka Jester. So once you bought any of the cars, they should be delivered to your garage of your choice. So let's take a look at the Dinka first. First impressions are this is quite a nice car, and if you listen to the engine, that sounds pretty sweet. So what can we do with this car modification wise? If we take it to Los Santos Customs, we have a whole load of different options, performance upgrades as well as visual upgrades as well. We've got things like skirts, roll cages, all the usual neon stuff. But the best bit is you can change the colour. You can't change the logos and the decals on the side, but all the usual metallic, matte and pearlescent options are available. So I'm not sure if this is going to fit within the super or the sport class of cars, but let's compare it against my Centauro and give it a quick drag race to see which one's faster. So we can see the Centauro is faster, but there's not a whole load in it, so this is a pretty good car to use, and handling wise it's a lot more grippier than the Centauro. So the other vehicle we're going to take a look at is the Vapid Slam van. This, as you'd expect, is a lot slower, the brakes are a lot worse, and the handling's pretty terrible as well. That said, it's a fun little car to drive, you can get a little bit drifty on it. And it's a nice looking old school van, which will make some good photos. Modification wise, there isn't actually that much we can do to it other than the usual white wall tyres and paint job. There's no add-ons or stick-ons you can put onto this car. But price wise it was pretty cheap at only $49,500, so overall a nice little addition to the garage. Unfortunately you can't change the colour of the wooden panels in the back. There aren't any interior mods and there aren't any bumper mods. So what else is new for this patch? Well, the weapons, and this is the big one. There are two really nice new weapons in this patch, and one of them is certainly going to be a game changer. So we've got proximity mines, and we've got homing missile rocket launcher. The proximity mines, you can only hold 5 at a time, which you can see Rockstar have done on purpose to stop it becoming overpowering. So the homing launcher will set you back a cool $71,250, but the high price isn't really surprising considering how overpowering this weapon could be. And again, Rockstar have limited the ammunition you can hold for this weapon to 10 rockets. Also, whilst we're in ammunition, it's worth noting that there's new parachute bags, and now there's 5 new designs, which are Black Combat, Charcoal, Forest, Grey and Tan. So Nate, I can hear you screaming, what about the weapons? So let's go back to the rocket launcher and see how it performs. So I've got 3-star police on me, waiting for some police helicopters to turn up. Here comes the first one, and as soon as we aim you can see I'm locking onto him. Starts off with a green box around, then orange before turning to red. Now whilst the missiles do home, it is still possible to miss. You don't seem to get a guaranteed hit even if you let the box go to red, but at the same time, if you're pretty accurate, even with the box green, you can still take them down. So as you can imagine, and as I mentioned earlier, this weapon is going to be a bit of a game changer. Anytime you're going to get griefed by a buzzard, or a laser, or a tank for that matter, this new weapon is going to certainly give you bigger teeth to fight back with. So really the only limiting factor of this weapon seems to be you can only hold 10 rockets, and the range isn't amazing, which means realistically you're only going to be able to take down planes and helicopters that are nearby and therefore likely really attacking you. As you can also see, this thing will lock onto anything regardless if anyone's in it, so it's going to lock onto your personal vehicle even when you're not in it. It's going to lock onto your helicopters and traffic as well, so you're going to need to bear that in mind when you're trying to use it in anger. So the other weapon in this update are the proximity mines. These are pretty cool. When you lay them, they take a few seconds to activate, but after that anything that goes near them will get blown up by the mine. So as we can see here, you can let traffic run over the mines and they'll blow up. You can also detonate them yourselves by shooting them, so for example here with the sniper rifle.
Oh my gosh!
And as you would expect, you can lay them on the floor and allow pedestrians or other players to walk over them. And that works pretty nicely too. So moving on to the new additional settings that Rockstar have added in this patch for first person mode. There's 3 new options available. There's the aim look dead zone, aim look acceleration, and auto level camera on off. So starting with the dead zone, this will basically reduce the right stick dead zone, which means the lower you set it, it will register your input sooner, which will make your aiming more responsive if you want it. And the higher the setting you set it to, the faster you can look around. The aim look acceleration controls how quickly the speed is increased until you reach the maximum turn speed. So if you're used to COD, this is all about how fast you can spin around on the spot. And the auto level camera setting seems default to on, and with it on, when you're looking down and moving forward, the camera will pan up so you can see what's in front of you, but with the option off, you'll remain looking at the ground when you're moving forward. So what else is new in this patch? Well, there's the whole festive clothes, which is for Christmas. If you walk up to the cashier of any clothes shop, there'll be some special outfits available, which are complete onesies effectively, of various terrible Christmas pyjamas and all the rest of it. Individually, you're looking at new hats, including baseball caps, as well as more traditional Christmas elf hats. New jumpers, some of which were there last year, some of which are new. We've got some new trousers as well, which look more like pyjamas. And in the shoes section, there's some new elf shoes. So there's also a whole load of new masks in this update. The firework launcher and snowy weather will be coming soon, as well as some sort of new snowballs feature, where you'll be able to pick them up in free roam and throw them at other players and have snowball fights. And as usual with any patch, a whole load of bugs and exploits have been fixed too. So anyway guys, I hope you found that useful. If you did, please feel free to support the channel with your likes and subscriptions. And feel free to check out my other videos, got strategy guides, tips and tricks videos, as well as my new series of videos looking at the best money missions for various levels. Cheers guys, thanks for watching.